G'day guys, what's going on? Super here. Today I'm going over my round 12 review. I scored 1771, which is a pretty subpar score this week. I only went up the ranks 207 spots, sitting at season rank of 11,578. Unfortunately, still not in the top 10k yet, but yeah, it is what it is. Getting the greens, so that's alright. Slowly going up the ranks. First week of the buys. So last week I traded out Sheasel, which is a bit of a risky play there. He does have the high break even, but he's versing West Coast, so he may go pretty well on his return game after a week off. Still wasn't sure about his role, so I just thought I'd trade him out. Wasn't too keen on it, but at the end of the day, I thought that Sheasel, is he going to be a top 8 defender? Not too sure about that. Is Jack McRae going to be a top 5 forward? Most likely. So that's my reasoning behind that one there. So I traded out Sheasel. Could come good though. May haunt me later on in the season, but I thought I'd take the punt, try and climb the ranks. Pretty happy with my defense at the moment. I did trade in Max Holmes over Stewart, which I kind of was tempted to trade in Stewart last week, but I didn't do that. Holmes scored 107. He probably was due for like a 130, but he did drop off a fair bit in the last quarter. Half time he was on about like 70, or like maybe like midway through the second quarter he was on 70, and yeah, he really dropped off. I think it was because like West Coast played pretty well for most of the game, and then the last like 5 minutes or 10 minutes they dropped off there. But yeah, not ideal. Stewart scored like 102, I believe it was, so could have saved about 100k and bought in Stewart, but I've got Holmes, not complaining about that. He's a good player, so I think he's going to be a top 8 defender for sure, so pretty happy about that. Got a pretty nice run home, got Gold Coast this week, so interesting to see. He's got a 75 break even, so I'd probably recommend getting him in this week if you don't have him yet, but yeah, I'm pretty keen about his run, so don't have to worry about not owning him anymore. For the VC, I had the VC on Neil for an 89, which wasn't the greatest score from him. He was primed for a monster score. I think he got a bit of attention from Durham, but I'm not too sure about that. McCluggage was the guy who went off. I think he got 159, I believe. So a bit frustrating as a Neil owner, but feel bad for the guys that own Dunkley because he went worse than Neil. So doesn't really make too much sense there. Pretty annoying stuff. But luckily we had the C on Gorn for 110, which was a little bit better, but 110 for a C option is not great at all, but you'll take it, I guess. So Sherry's back this week, so not bad for worrying about the captain option. So we can just VC Sherry and hopefully he'll go nuts against Flynn this week. I think he'll be a monster score. So pretty shocking week in terms of like the captaincy option, I guess. Bailey Smith was the highest scoring player on my side, which is pretty interesting, but especially when there were reports around him saying like he might actually be carrying an injury or something like that, but I think he's all right. Anyway, Whitfield bounced back for 116, so he's actually pretty cheap if you wanted to grab him this week. It's a matter of the case of like the round 16 buy, where it's a bit annoying. Essendon have that buy as well, so I know that Codwell went off. Well, he's pretty cheap anyway, so he went pretty well. He could have scored higher, got a break even at 21. I think he sits in the round 16 buy as well, so I can't really afford to bring him in either, because if we have a look at it, I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 primos missing that round, so I can't really afford to grab Stewart or him. But if you have like less than 5, or maybe you've got 4, then you could take the punt on one of those guys like a Stewart or Colwell. But yeah, I can't do it from my side, unfortunately, so it's a bit of a bad miss. And then there's Whitfield as well, who's coming down in price, so if you want to grab him, probably could wait another week. But got Port Adelaide, not sure how he's going to go. He could cop attention, but probably unlikely. Probably go to someone else like in the midfield, maybe like a Tom Green or someone. But yeah, that was a bloody interesting game, GWS versus Richmond. Can't believe they actually won that game. Pretty shocking stuff from the Tigers to drop that one. But It's pretty annoying as well because I traded in Wits last week, dropped to 71. And, in my flex position, I used to have Nank. And, Nank went nuts against Briggs. He got 142. But I had to trade him out like last week because I had to field like a player in the flex position. Otherwise, I was going to get like two donuts. So, and Nank was in the flex position there. So it's pretty annoying stuff that Nank's come back after being managed and dropped to 140. But I should have like knew in hindsight and held on to him. But it is what it is. I'm not too concerned about that. Witz has the Cats this week, so he should go nuts against our ruckman in Stanley or Blitzarves. I'm hoping for a big response from him. 71's not the greatest, but he was versing Jackson and Darcy. And it did start pissing down in terms of raining and stuff like that. The weather wasn't that great, so he kind of dropped off. He looked like he was primed for a big score at halftime, but then, the weather changed and, his scoring wasn't that good. So not ideal there, but his run isn't too bad. He's got Briggs after the Cats, so he should go nuts there as well because, Nank just went crazy against the Giants. So hopefully Wits can do the same. Then he's got a tough matchup against Melbourne in Gawn. But yeah, Gawn's kind of dropped off a little bit there. And then Essendon as well coming up. So pretty favourable fixture coming up. Goldie's in there, so not too bad. So Dale's coming back this week, which will be good. Holmes is good. He's most likely going to be a top 6 defender, you would imagine. So probably recommend grabbing him this week. Pretty nice fixture coming up. Roberts, can't really do too much about him. He's got he's dropping a fair bit in price, but he hasn't gone below his starting price yet. Got the Tigers this week, so should be interesting to see how he goes there. Sandy Brock with a 51, which is pretty average, but he's still got a low break even, so I think I'm going to hold on to him just while he's got some cash gen still to be made there, so I think that's not a bad shout. Neil, can't really do too much about that. He's going to be a keeper, so got Adelaide this week. He's got that 179 there, which I didn't even see before, so he's actually another chance of being a VC option. Could I do it? I don't know. After last week, pretty frustrating. So I don't know if I could do it, but probably probably end up doing it there. And yeah, Zach Merritt's probably like the cheapest price he's going to be there. What's his break even? 77. So yeah, he's going to start going up in price again. Got Carlton this week, so might be a bit of a danger game for Carlton if they can't win this one. But I think he should have like a 120 sort of game against them. You would imagine probably won't cop attention. So yeah, there's heaps of value options available this week. Sarong's also pretty cheap, which is crazy to think. He's actually so cheap. So frustrating that I started him. Wish I started Brayshaw. He's another one that I probably want to bring in, but I can't really afford to do that at the moment in terms of how am I going to trade people to him. Hewitt was good, actually. I think he kicked like a clutch goal, which scaled him up a bit there, and he got a 92, so that was good for his cash gen. So he's got a break even of 28. I think I might have to hold on to him this week just to get a bit more cash out of him. Clay Hall, this guy's been pretty stiff not to get a game, so I hope that he comes back, but, it's probably not going to happen. Sherry's coming back this week, so pretty favourable fixture, like in terms of versing Flynn this week, so probably want to VC him there. Gawn against Cameron's another option as well, so maybe we do the VC on Sherry. Bailey Smith has been going nuts, so he might actually be a smoky for the Brownlow. Like, I don't know if it's a smoky, he might actually win it, which is crazy. But yeah, he's been unreal this year, which is good to see. Gold Coast, bit of a interesting matchup there. He's only scored 117 against them in his whole career, so surely he can get a higher score this time. Petrarca was looking like he was due for a big score as well, but then I think he dropped off. He was like the highest scoring player at like 3/4 time for Melbourne, and then I think he was on about 70 or something, but yeah, he's gone down again. So the forwards have been a bit of a disaster this week. Chad Warner with a 58, which is disgraceful. They did get pumped, but you'd expect a bit of a bounce back game against Richmond, but they did play pretty well against GWS, so they could honestly lose that game. But yeah, a bit of a bold statement there. And then Rankin, he's just been absolutely shocking ever since I bought him in. I can't believe I traded this guy in. He's been shocking. Like, it's not ideal at all. I bought him in for I think it was 441k or something. Can't even turn up for me. Just embarrassing stuff. And Cleary was the sub there, so that's not good either. So he might have to get traded for me. Does have Richmond though, so it could be dependent on the team sheets. He's got a 91 break even there, so probably have to get rid of him. And then Gray got the 70, which is good for his cash gen, so he's going to make a bit of cash for us. If you bought him in, you'd be pretty happy with that. Still has a negative 48 break even, which is good. Not too sure about if you would grab him at this price. Probably not worth it at 173k. Probably just go for someone else. Still holding on to McRae, and then Witts. He's just I think like I said, the weather conditions. I think that's what really screwed him over. But surely you'd play well if you're like a tap ruckman. But yeah, just really didn't go as expected. But yeah, hoping for a bounce back game against the Cats this week. So we got 385k here, so that's pretty nice. I've only got 14 trades left, so it's a bit risky in terms of like who I'm going to bring in. So I think I have to just pay up for Bont this week. So what I'm thinking of doing, I'll probably have to trade out Levi. He got the 59. His run for like the next couple of weeks isn't that convincing for me, honestly. I think that it's probably a run where you probably want to get rid of him because he's got Adelaide in Adelaide and then he's got GWS, sorry. So just have a quick look at the DFS matchup here for midfielders. Brizzy. So Adelaide in the Reds, and then these guys are neutral. And yeah, the Geelong matchup is in GMHBA, which would be hard to see him scoring well there. So I think, this is a week to get rid of him, to be honest. So we'll just trade him out. If it'll fucking load. Will it load? Yeah, there we go. A bit slow today. Why is it so bloody slow? So bloody annoying. What is going on, brother? Oh, come on. Probably should have it in dark mode, eh? Anyway, so I do want Brayshaw, but I'm not sure how I'm going to get him in. Far out. So yeah, we'll grab Bont. Leaves us 129k. I think we just got to do it. It is a little bit risky though. He's got the Hawks this week. Could cop a Nash tag, I believe, if he is back. I think he's back. I haven't really watched the Hawks. They haven't gone as good as I would have expected the last couple of weeks. But yeah, he seems to still play pretty well. His lowest score of the season's 99, so it's unlikely that he's going to go worse than that. But the matchup after the Hawks, like St Kilda and Richmond, can't afford to not have him in the team there. Should be good captain options there. But yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. He still has the 137 break even against Hawthorn. Probably will cop a tag, you would imagine. But I think I've just got to do it. Just have him in the team, not worry about not owning him there. And that leaves me with 129k. So I could make a bit of a play here. Maybe I hold on to the cash and grab Brayshaw next week after his bye. That could be probably the smart thing to do. All right, let me just double check. Brayshaw, what's his break even? So it's 139. I mean, he could come down, but he could also get 139 against North Melbourne. They seem to have a pretty nice fixture actually coming up. They got North, Essendon, St Kilda. Sydney seem to give up a bit of points as well, so not too bad. But yeah, I just don't know. It seems like probably not the greatest idea just to pay up for both of them at this point in the year, but I might have to do a value play. So we'll get rid of Cleary. So yeah, there's other guys available like Pedler and Clark, who you could do like a double downgrade if you wanted to grab those. I think those guys will be pretty safe options. They should get games each week for their sides and go up in money. So I was debating if I should do that or not, but not too sure. And then was this McCarthy bloke? I haven't looked at him yet. How many games has he played? Is it only one? Oh, he hasn't played any. Oh, he was like the mid-season number one draft pick, I think. And then Connor Rosie's in there, but he still has 131 break even. Still not fully convinced on him yet. So not with like GWS and Sydney coming up anyway. I think I'll just wait until after those matchups are done before I grab Rosie if I do want to get him in. But he's finished his buy, so it kind of makes sense if you wanted to go there. But yeah, he's still got that 131 break even. For me, I probably couldn't do it with GWS coming up, but you would imagine that they tag Zach Butters. But yeah, who knows? They could rotate. But anyway, we'll go over the trades. So we'll trade in Bontempelli and have to trade out Cleary, I think, which is annoying. But, he does have Richmond, so there is the question of do I want to hold him for that? But I think I'll just get rid of him, honestly. And who else would we get rid of? Not too sure. So we could go early on Hewitt and bring in someone else. What if we swap Shea to the forward line? Then we could bring in Clark. I think that's probably the go. Not too sure about Pedler. I think he's a top 20 draft pick, so probably stay in the side. And obviously, after a smashing against Sydney, he's not going to get dropped. So you could go Pedler, but for me, I think I'm just going to go Clark because he scored that 97. But yeah, not too sure about his job security, honestly. I think Pedler might have better job security than Clark. Where is he? He's just a bit cheaper. I don't really want to be paying 150k for a rookie at this time of the year. So I think that, yeah, Clark is the play there. Even though he did score 44, but it's probably because everyone was really hyped up on him. So that's probably the case there. And that leaves me 543k here. So what I could do is I could get Tom Stewart if I wanted to, but it's really going to affect my buy structure, I believe. So I probably can't do it. I really want to do it, but probably it makes sense. I think he's still going to score as well as some of those other guys around 550k, and it leaves me 113k, which will be handy. But I don't think I can afford to do it for my team if I want to try and climb the ranks, especially with the round 16 buy. I'd probably have to trade out some of those guys if I wanted to do it, but probably not ideal. But yeah, I think I might actually have a bit of a gamble with this cash here. I think I might bring in someone that is a bit of a pod again, But yeah, I bought in a pod last week and that didn't go too well for me, but I think I've got to do it. Let me just have a look and see who's available if this wants to bloody load. It's a bit laggy for me. God damn it. Load. Too many people on it at this hour of the night, eh? Far out. Brussels sprouts. So annoying. God. So where are we? So we've got to trade out Cleary and we'll trade out Hewitt. Swap Bolton. Bring Holmes in there. Grab Clark. Where is he? Probably should just type. Grab him. And then, yeah, that leaves me 543k, which probably could grab Rao, but I think... When's his buy? I don't know if I'm convinced. He's gone pretty well the last couple of weeks, actually, but... The round 14 buy. Could do it. I think I want to grab someone that's already had their buy, so I think I might grab... So there's Rosie. Probably won't grab him. There's Cripps, who I'm leaning towards. Chera, I've traded him out, so I can't bring him back in. Sam Walsh, I don't mind. It's a bit risky, though. 2% owned. He still has a fairly high break even. But yeah, if I'm going to grab one of the Carlton blokes, I think I'm going to take the punt on Paddy Cripps. Where is it? Paddy Cripps. Let's do it. It's a pretty ballsy play here, but I think it might work out. He's the captain of their team. If they want to make the top 8, he's going to have some unreal performances coming forward. But yeah, he's not the greatest for SuperCoach, obviously, but I think it's honestly worth a shot. Averaging 101 as Essendon this week. I don't think anyone can tag him. Got West Coast the week after that. He's going to be in the guts like majority of the game. I better just double check his CBA action actually. Let's have a look. Good old Carlton. Yeah, he's the main guy. So, he's still getting more CBAs than Hewitt and Chera and stuff. So I think I'm going to take the punt on Cripps, honestly. He's got that great fixture coming up, so I think it's worth it. And, if they do verse like Port Adelaide and stuff, I don't see anyone tagging him. But yeah, let's just hope that he comes back after the bye and he's in good nick, ready to start winning games for the Blues. Because that's what they need. If they want to play finals, they need their captain to stand up and win games for them. So I think I'm actually going to take the punt on him. Just risk it for the biscuit, eh? But yeah, in terms of VCC options, who am I going to do? I think I might go with Cherry, obviously VC. He's probably the guy that will score the highest score out of all the captain options. So you want to VC him against West Coast at Hands Oval. So I'm not too sure about that one. So haven't really seen much footy being played there. So not too sure how the scoring will go for him. But yeah, he's in great form. So against West Coast, should go nuts. Flynn's like the easiest ruck opponent in the competition. So I think most people will do that. And then you can just do the C into Gawn, which is pretty safe. Or you could do someone else. Yeah, I'd probably just recommend Gawn, honestly. Like, Sherry's probably not going to let us down. So I think that's a safe play. But yeah, if I wanted to be a bit more risky, maybe I do the VC on Neil. Against Adelaide, he's got that 179 from 2024. But yeah, I think that's probably the safest bet there. Could do like a VC on Wits as well, but probably not worth it realistically. But yeah, I'm slightly concerned about Bontempelli getting tagged. That's the only thing here. Might have a look at another trade scenario if I was going to not grab Bont this week, which could be an option if I wanted to save a bit of cash. Hewitt, kind of get the feeling that I should hold him this week. Just, he doesn't have his bye. He scored a 92. Still got some money to be made, so probably should just hold him, really. What if I just hold off on Bontempelli? What's he going to get? He's only really going up like 20k, so is it really worth holding him? Not too sure. Probably not. But if I traded out Ashcroft, what if I just grab someone else? Who would I even get? Let's say if I did actually just grab Cripps, leaves me 243k. Could be the pod move, eh? That one wants to confirm, and then maybe what I can do is grab some other guys. Maybe I grab both of the rookies just for the cash gen. Could be another option for me. Who would I trade out? Probably don't want to trade out Carroll, do I? We'll swap. I think we could get both of them in. Oh no, Clark. Do we want to trade out Carroll? Maybe we trade out Huswaite. Swap Gross. So who do we need? We need Clark and Pedlar, maybe. think maybe that's a play because we don't really want to get any other rookies for the rest of the year, you would imagine. So could do this instead. Bit more of a risky play. So grab Clark and Pedler. Where is he? 150k. So pretty pricey. But yeah, that leaves me with like 379k. So could be the move actually. And then next week we grab Bont. I'm just not 100% convinced with Bont against Hawthorn. So let's just have a look. Next week definitely need to get him in though. Could drop a little bit of coin if we want to just hope that he goes down in price. He could go 140 though against Hawthorn, but who knows? You would imagine they would definitely tag him after the form that the Hawthorn club has been in, like the footy club. They probably just want to win a game, so they definitely want to tag Bontempelli, you would imagine. Yeah, I think next week maybe we should just focus on getting in Bont. Maybe we just risk it with Cripps, have a bit of a gamble. But yeah, if we do this, it means the cash gen's a bit nicer. Leaves us 379k there, so we could trade Hewitt next week and get Bont in 400k basically in the bank, and then probably could use like 3 trades. I'm not too sure how I'm going to get Brayshaw in as well. That's the only thing. How would that work? Maybe Sandy Brock goes up a bit as well. Just get the calculator up. So let's just say Sandy Brock gets 262k there. And then how much will Hewitt be? He'll be 316. If he scores a 73, should be likely though against North, you would imagine. And then we plus the 379. So there's about 58k, sorry. Who else will we trade? Maybe we trade out Carroll. How much will he got? I don't know if I should trade him or not with the West Coast and North Melbourne games coming up, but yeah, I think I have to get rid of him, eh? Probably could just get rid of Clay Hall, honestly, if he doesn't get named. Just say that we get plus Clay Hall there. Yep. And then how much is Bont? It's probably not. It's not going to work out. It doesn't look like it. Say he gets like a 110 if we're lucky. Still going to be 632k. Jesus. 2. Yeah, that's not going to work, eh? Yeah, I think I've just. Oh, it's pretty annoying. I think I just have to get rid of. It is best 18 scores though. Oh, I think I've freed up the cash for a reason, so I think I just have to get in Bont this week. Probably makes sense, eh? Trade out Hewitt. Have a bit of a play this week, eh? Just a bit of a risk. Swing Holmesy into the midfield. Bolton into the forward line. And yeah, we'll have a bit of a play, I reckon. Risk it for the biscuit. Cripps could be a top 12 defender. I mean, top 12 midfielder, sorry. If he does have a good season, probably should have just grabbed Jordan Dawson when he was cheap. But, it is what it is. I think Carlton have a pretty nice run, so I think I'll risk it. He should go back up in price. He's dropped a fair bit of price, Cripps. Grab Bont. And then we'll grab Clark. But yeah, then I'll have to rethink who I'm actually going to get in the midfield to complete my midfield. Let's just grab Clark here. That one's sorted. Most likely what I'll probably do for the trade plans. I think I'm probably going on a bit too long now. Probably just rambling on as per usual. But yeah, we'll put the VC on Cherry into Gorn. That's a safe bet. And then if we have a look at the team, what have we got here? Full forward line. Shea Bolton at F6. Probably not ideal, but is what it is. We've made a few stupid trades throughout the year, so kind of have to do it. And then in defence, we've got Holmes in there, so we need one defender. In the midfield, got 6 primo midfielders. Still have spots for 2 guys here, so probably want to get who is it? Butters when he comes down somehow. He's going to come down, hopefully. Cop a massive tag this week. So yeah, probably could bring him in next week if we want. But if we wanted to wait a bit, we could probably do it. I think after the Sydney game is probably where I probably want to bring him in, but it's just a matter of how he scores. He's just a really good Supercoach scorer, so see how he goes against Melbourne. He'll probably go nuts against them, but probably could wait until round 15 if we wanted to. But so we could get Butters there, and then trying to figure out how I'm going to afford all these players is the issue. So Brayshaw's got a 140 break even basically. Got North Melbourne and Essendon and St Kilda coming up, so he's probably not going to drop that much lower than 600k. So yeah, don't know how that's going to work with my cash gen. It's not looking good, is it? I think we might have to take a punt. Might have to reassess my options during the week here. Let you guys know in the comments down below. But yeah, this is what I'm feeling like at the moment. Have a bit of a risk on Cripps. I think it'll work out all right. Got a 96 break even. He's probably going to start going back up in price. But yeah, I think he could start going nuts. He hasn't really had the ceiling that you would have expected. But yeah, maybe the week off is going to help him. But yeah, that's the team. How we'll line up, I'll probably obviously get McRae on the bench for Gray. He's going to make us a bit of cash. And then Carroll can come on for Sinclair. And yeah, that's how we'll line up. Have a quick look at the leagues. So I actually copped a loss against What a Steal Jack this week. So he scored pretty well. So yeah, Matt's leading. Caco's Reapers. He's only lost 1 game. Crazy. Kobe's up there as well. What rank is he? Top. Oh, he's 1,243. So pretty good score from him this week. And yeah, high rank. So that's good to see. And then Kobe is rank 81, which is ridiculous. He's got Anderson. Probably a bad miss from me. Got Dunkley as well. So that's a bit frustrating owning Dunkley. So he's going to come down a bit. Probably could consider Dunkley, honestly. But yeah, I probably don't want to do that. Not too sure about Dunkley. I think I'd rather just take the punt on Cripps with his easy fixture. And then I've already got Holmes, so that's good. But yeah, the forward line, if you got Marek, I think he's a trade out. I traded him out last week, so yeah. But yeah, that's the ladder for the league at the moment. So yeah, I'm kind of slipping away. It's pretty crazy. A few guys are on 24 points there, so hopefully we can come back this week. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good week this week. The buys are kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Let me know what your trade options are in the comments down below. And if you got any advice for me as well, that would be appreciated. Not having the greatest year this year, but it is what it is. It's a bit of fun at the end of the day. Just wanted to bring you guys along for the journey. So see how we go. But yeah, thanks again so much for watching, and see you later. Bye.